Welcome to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. But today we're talking about your current real estate. If you own real estate, you got to pay property taxes on it. So that's what we're talking about today. We have a great show going on for you today, a lot to talk about, but this segment is really going to help you if you're a property owner, because a lot of people get confused between the tax value of their property and the market pricing for which you're going to sell your property for. And that is just the hardest thing to get people to understand, that the tax value is so different than what they can sell their house for. So Mike Sullivan's here. He's the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector, and he is going to be here to talk today a little bit about property taxes. So we welcome you back, because you've been on the show before and gave us lots of great information.
Great to be here. And let me remind everyone that's listening to you that the Harris County Tax Assessor doesn't set your values. All we do is send out the bill.
Collect it.
You bet.
So if right now, people are getting notices in their mail for the value of their property, the tax value of their property. And if they don't agree with that value, there are things they can do.
That's right. It's that time of year. The Harris County Appraisal District is sending out appraisal notices to property owners. And because there are in excess of 1 million accounts, it's going to take a couple of weeks for all the bills, or not bills, but all the appraisals to hit the streets. And when you receive them, open them up, check them out, make sure they're right, make sure the information's correct, and then get ready to protest, because projections we are seeing are that residential home values could once again be increasing by double digits.
Wow. Why is that? Just housing prices in general are going up, so tax rates go up?
Well, they do. The real estate market, sales and resale, new constructions, all still pretty stable. And even those home sales may be down just a little bit according to HAR, median prices are up. And the Houston economy and the region has diversified so much. We used to just be plain old oil and gas town, but now we have the airport, and the port's grown, the airport's grown. Medical center continues to be a driver, and a number of other industries that have come to this great area. I'm a native Houstonian, 58 years old, and very proud to be here. I can't imagine being anywhere else.
So when you said look over your tax appraisal to make sure it's correct, you not only want to check that value figure, but also to make sure you've got all your exemptions, right? Exemptions
are a big part of the tax bill. I had lunch yesterday at Space Center Rotary, and it was funny because one of the gentleman sitting at the table, he's older, he's over 65, so he has that exemption.
Yeah.
And the legislature had passed and voters approved increasing the school district exemptions from $15,000 to $25,000. And he said, Mike, I don't owe any taxes this year.
Wow.
And if you have all your exemptions and you have them on file, and if you're entitled to them, by golly, take them.
Yeah. Well, and you had to get your homestead exemption by January 1st.
That's correct. So, you have to own and live in the home on January 1st.
And if you don't have that, then that's something to plan for next year.
It is. And some good news for people that don't have it is that the Texas Property Tax Code allows me to refund homestead exempt properties back 1 year.
Oh, that's
so
good.
So
if they missed it this year, they could still get refunded next year.
They sure can. And Shannon, especially since you're in the business, a lot of people are moving here from around the country. And not everyone, not all other states have the same laws that we do.
Right.
They don't have the same exemptions, or maybe they have more exemptions, or they're not familiar. They need to be in touch with either you or me, find out what they're entitled to, fill those forms out, and get them on file.
Absolutely. So how is this value that they come up with, this tax value, is there any rhyme or reason to it?
Well, it depends on who you talk to, but frankly, what HCAD does is they do what's called a mass appraisal. So they go into a community of similar properties, they evaluate and appraise the area, and then they send out the appraisal notices. And once the jurisdiction set the tax rate, then I'm able to send the bills out. That's usually in the first, second week of November.
Okay, so if people get it, they've looked over it, some of their exemptions are there, but they feel like the tax value is wrong. They can protest that, and the form is actually with it, right?
That's right. HCAD includes a form. I always know it as the green form in the envelope. So your appraised value form with your tax rates is on a white sheet of paper, and then the green form is your protest form. So if HCAD sends out a protest form with every appraisal notice, then I think that's an indication they expect a protest.
So most people out there protesting, do they hire a company to help them or do they just do it themselves?
It's about 50-50. About half of the property owners hire a property tax consultant. That's a big name for a guy that will, or a firm that will protest your appraisal for you at HCAD. And generally, the rates, I'm sure, are negotiated, but my personal experience is that the firm collects about 40% of what they save you in taxes, not 40% in the difference of the appraisal. If they save you money on taxes, they'll take 40% out of that. If they don't save you money, then you don't owe them anything. It's kind of a no cure, no pay.
Okay, so if you want to do this yourself, how do you know what to do?
Well, it's not necessarily easy, but it's an easy process. You have to provide documentation to HCAD that proves that your home is overappraised or it's not a market value appraisal. And you can do that with photographs. You can do it with comparable sales of homes in your areas.
Which you get from your realtor.
You can. That's the best place to get them. I wouldn't do the Zillow or all the other internet places that information's not right. Go to a local realtor here in the Houston area that knows the market, and they'll provide the information for you. And then base your argument on those data points, if you will, and protest. And you can file online. It's called iFile, and there's a special code on your property appraisal notice that's unique to your property. So be sure you keep the notice. Okay. Don't think if you're going to protest that you don't need the notice, because you will. you will need it.
So you guys are doing workshops around the city to help people with this process, right?
We are. When I came into office, it's been almost 4 years now. I'm in the third year of my first 4-year term. We were hearing from people about the appraisals being too high, certainly for the first part of my term. We decided to work with HCAD, and it's kind of ironic. They send the appraisal out, and then I've got them on the stage with me helping explain how to protest your value. But their message and mine is that you protest a value if you think it's unfair. And that's, of course, in every homeowner's right. It's not HCAD's right to say you cannot protest. So everyone gets a chance to protest. And then before people leave the room, and I say the room because literally we're in churches, we're in community centers, we're all over town. We do over 20 of them a year. Those are coming up here in April. We make sure that everyone has all the exemptions we're talking about. My staff shows up with laptops, portable printers, and if you're there in the room, we're not going to let you leave until we confirm that you have every exemption possible.
That's good.
So it's very friendly.
So for our listeners out there who want to come to one of your workshops, how do they find them? Are they on your website?
They are on our website, and it's hctax.net. HC as in Harris County Tax.net, and it'll be right at the top of the page.
That's fantastic. All right, so payment plans. If they can't make the full payment, they can do a plan, right?
They can. And let me tell you, it's kind of, I hate to say we're kind of like the IRS, but if you owe the money, we're not going away. And it's not Mike Sullivan, it's the property tax code. It's what the tax assessor does. So if you can't pay, and a lot of people can't, some people's income is seasonal. Some people maybe have lost a job or whatever in this economy. Just pick up the phone and call us and talk to us and tell us what your situation is. We don't decide whether or not it's a legitimate reason. The law allows us to enter into payment plans on February 1st, and we're happy to do that.
So there's a deadline to file a protest if you want to protest. What's that deadline?
There is. Going back to the property tax deadline, it's May 31st, and you protest with HCAD, not with my office. So May 31st, make sure you file your protest with HCAD.
And you talked a little bit about being up again for re-election. So you just got through the primaries. That's exciting.
It is. Tax assessor collector is an elected office. It's not appointed. So the taxpayers decide who they want serving in that office. Ran in the primary. It's a two-party state. You have to run in a primary system. We ran in one, and now we're going to November. And very excited about the accomplishments we've made in 4 years and look forward to serving longer.
Very good. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Your Harris County Tax Assessor Collector Mike Sullivan, talking about your tax bill that you're going to receive in the mailbox. And if you need to protest it, you can go and watch this video online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. Know exactly what you need to protest your tax bill, and then you got to get it paid because there's a deadline coming up. All right. Well, we appreciate you listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Imagine you and your family return from a tropical vacation to find that one of your pipes burst, flooding your entire house. Are you fully covered? Will you only receive $100 for your TV that cost you $2,000 just 2 years ago? Will your insurance company pay for you to live in a hotel while your home is being repaired? What if on that same trip you lose your wedding ring? Will your home insurance coverage replace that as well? All insurance policies are not created equal. If you don't know the answer to these questions, you're not alone. Most people don't understand the gaps in their coverage until it's too late. Call Goosehead Insurance today and let one of our agents review your current policy to ensure that you are fully covered. At Goosehead Insurance, we understand the power of choice. Instead of working for a single insurance company, our agents have access to over 20 A-rated carriers. This allows us to craft a policy to fit your particular lifestyle, budget, and needs. It also enables us to reshop your policy in the future, if necessary, saving you time and money. No need to look for another agent. At Goosehead, we've got you covered. Our agents will walk you through each policy decision so that you have the coverage you need. If that's not reason enough, talk to one of our happy clients. Our client satisfaction scores are 3 times the industry average. To experience the Goosehead Insurance difference, visit us online at goosehead.com or call us at 800-474-1377.